Brickmaniacs, it's time for another episode of Brickmania TV. This is Brickmania TV. This isn't a sit rep, is it?
It is Brickmania. Is it weird, isn't it? It's been a while since I've done an episode.
Today on Brickmania, we have two kits. Dan, let's just get right into it.
What do we got? These are new restocks, so they're kind of like stuff you might be, if you're familiar with Brickmania, familiar with the World War I kits we've done over the years, you'll probably recognize these kits. But we're considering them new because first time in this configuration.
Right. So do you want to talk about the Renault or the quarter pounder first?
Let's talk about the Renault. It's right in the quarter. No, let's talk about the Renault. So
I think that's what we've all been calling it in the back rooms.
Oh,
the quarter pounder.
The quarter pounder. So Renault is FT17, or Renault FT. It means light tank.
Yep.
It's an abbreviation of French. You probably recognize this. We've done it before. This is not too far from the previous versions. I'll pull that guy off.
Yeah.
So, close this turret up. Turret does have a classic, the classic profile. Engine, driver, turret on top that can go all the way around. So that's your classic tank design.
There's a little sticker pack with that as well.
Right. So when we did the battle pack earlier, actually that was like for the holidays. Last fall we did a battle pack. Came with this. Slightly different, some little modifications, improvements actually, in this design, and then it had a different driver. So let's talk about this new driver.
Oh yeah, again a simple. What do we originally use this coat in? Just a leather jacket.
A leather jacket. I think he's in the Schneider.
Yep, Schneider.
So it's the same torso from the Schneider.
So front and back, and I kept the artwork all on the torso. So if you want to swap out the legs for your own other legs, you can mix and match. Kind of in the old school Lego tradition.
You can put the Adrian helmet on too. We put this sort of leather. They have this French have this unique sort of leather helmet that they wore. And the closest we could do is get the aviator cap from Lego.
And then a cool classic mustache face there.
Right. And we do have a sticker pack that does come with this Renault. It's a little bit updated for this kit, but it does have a set of numbers and all your different suits.
Right. You mentioned there's improvements on this from the previous version.
Right. I did some simplification on the front. Like it's not. I mean.
Maybe it's not super apparent.
It's mostly technical stuff, but you'll notice, if you look closely, you'll notice that the original versions had a piece of flex tubing, like a hollow piece of flex tubing on here. Lego actually designed a piece just for me, no, not just for me, but it just happened to work out. They came out with a new piece, this little short axle on here. It allows it's a short axle, so we can have independent movement of the tracks, which is of course important if you want your tank to turn. That's the way it works.
Cool.
So that is a major improvement. Of course, it's sort of hard on this smooth surface, but this rolls great.
Cool.
I always like to show that feature off with this tank because it is a neat little thing. Another thing about this tank, it's cheap. You can buy a whole fleet of these. Well, I don't know. Do they have them in fleets or flotillas? I guess.
Don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, does it roll on a guy's face? It does.
You don't run over the driver.
Just product testing, man.
Okay, so
anyways,
moving on. I guess we'll finish up with more of the next kit. So, a QF 13 pounder. It's not a quarter pounder. It's a 13 pounder. This is a semi-automatic field piece that was developed shortly before World War I. And we've released this before a few years ago. This is slightly modified. Some of the pieces are updated just because Lego comes out with new versions of stuff. So, your two guys will sit on the seats here. If you're going to you have the limber. So this limber will be full ammunition. The door of the limber does actually close. Nice. So imagine that's all full of ammunition. I did not include shells because figure either you're going to have your own brick arm shells or you can buy them from us as well. So when you are transporting this little stake here, it's like so they can pick it up and move the tail of the cannon around. You push that forward.
Right
So it's fairly simple design. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I messed that up. Oh no!
Oh no! It's Lego. We can't fix it.
So is this is your design or is this?
No, this is mine.
This is yours.
This is actually, they came out with this kit like, I want to say like 3 years ago. It was one of our first World War I kits we ever did.
And that comes
okay, it wasn't one of the first because we did some like years ago, but first in the modern era. And we do have 2 figures with this one.
And that comes with a gunner and then the officer as well.
So we did a World War I British officer, which is kind of new for us. We've never done an officer.
Right. So these are kind of like in between the Army Builder kind of standard minifigures and the deluxe premium ones. So
Sure.
they don't have side printing, but I think the illusion of the leg wrap still holds up.
It looks good. I think it looks really good.
It's just sort of a intermediate level figure. Right
This
there.
officer actually has a leg wraps too. So we're doing a lot of research, and when they're in the field, you will see a lot of officers, especially if they're in like forward positions. They will actually wear the leg wraps and not the slacks you'd normally associate with an officer. So. Of course, the officer would usually have a pistol, so you have that cool like strap, shoulder strap. New guy only comes with this set right now.
If you notice on the front of the arms, they have I believe that's for their rank. I don't know the technical term for it.
Oh, the little piping on the wrist. Yeah.
So that's a cool little feature.
So some British expert in World War I uniforms, or expert in British World War I uniforms, let us know what that means, because we're not a.
It's not called 2 stars, but he's got 2 of those little squares on them.
Must be a lieutenant or something.
Nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's a lieutenant.
It's probably like a 5-star.
I have it written down.
It's going to be out in the trenches. Yep. Anyway. So we also have a couple new figures.
Yes.
So if you have 6 horses, you could pull this thing away.
That's how many horses it took to pull that thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's heavy. It's only a 13-pounder, which means it shoots a 13-pound shell.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a heavy cannon, and you need 6 horses for sure. And then all the crew would ride on their own horses as well.
So here is our Australian light horse infantry.
Right. So the Australian Light Horse Infantry, as you know from the movie Gallipoli, and they were all actually weren't just in Turkey. They were all over the Western Front. But we did our own version. We haven't done it for a while. We had one before that was one of the MMCB capes.
Right.
Kind of fabric wraps. So this time we're printing it, and they have that real distinctive sort of bandolier.
Yeah.
That shoulder band.
Very iconic. And they had these leather leg wraps, I believe is what they called them, but kind of interesting.
And they didn't usually ride their horses in the battle, so we didn't provide this guy with a horse. They are light horse infantry. They would fight dismounted, and they would have like an SMLE rifle. If you want to set up a machine gun too, you get the Vickers. We do have the Vickers for sale separately.
So most of the horses were just used to get to where they needed to go quick.
Well, like if you're in Australia, and you're not going to be walking around the outback, chances are you're going to have your. So they're actually famous. These units were famous.
Some of the most sought after horses.
Right, and it's kind of why we paired them with the QF 13-pounder, because a lot of the battles that that these guys would participate in World War I, they were actually paired with the what was it?
HAC.
Yeah.
Honorable Artillery Company.
Honorable Artillery. So yeah. So these figures were actually modeled after them. They're not exact copies. They don't have the insignia.
Yeah, the main difference is just like an arm insignia.
So there's some pretty famous pictures. We'll see if we can find one of these guys in Palestine actually, teamed up together. So your Australian Light Horse Infantry, your Honorable Artillery Company,
right. And then up against that Australian Light Horse Infantry, you would have the Ottoman Turks Infantry right here.
Right,
correct?
Right. This is Winston Churchill's other battle that he lost.
Oh.
When the British invaded Gallipoli to try to take the Dardanelles and force the Straits of get into the Black Sea with the British fleet. So they did a land battle. They did a land invasion of Turkey, and we have represented the Ottoman Turks.
So it's a lot of German equipment from World War I that were I guess they had a trading or exchange program with that.
Right. A lot of the German, you'd have German, what do you call it? Advisors.
Sure.
And a lot of German equipment. So the Turkish army, the Ottoman Turks, were desperately trying to upgrade and modernize their military forces. So with help from the German Empire.
Yeah. Yeah, they actually received, I think it's the M1916 Stahlhelm.
Right.
And they would take it and cut the brim off. So it's just kind of like their own unique. But there's still photographs of them wearing just an unaltered Stahlhelm.
So they would have like a car. Well, actually, not a Gewehr 98 rifle. So.
I believe so.
Yeah, and of course you can Vickers or not Vickers, Maxim machine guns. Right. So all kinds of good stuff. So all the German equipment that we do would actually work well for the Ottoman Turks. But this is the first time we've done a Turkish soldier.
Right.
So stay tuned. Maybe we'll even release an officer of that in the future too. But you could just put your German officers in there because they work just fine.
Cool. I think that's it.
All right. Yeah. That is a new episode.
This is quite the release here. We got a whole spread. Look,
if you haven't figured it out yet, people are asking what theme are you guys in? You're all over the place. We're not. Every week during the month is a different theme, but it will repeat every month. So we're back to the first week of the month, World War I theme. So what does that make next week?
Uh-oh.
That's right, World War II will be next week. So stay tuned next week for more World War II stuff. But we have these new releases and a bunch of restocks coming. Look for the sit rep, and then it'll update all that good stuff.
Absolutely. Also, don't forget to use the hashtag Brickmania on a unique post of your own on social media somewhere. And for
it's not
anywhere. No, use it anywhere.
Use it everywhere.
Use it everywhere.
But we are going to be scouring Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for uses of hashtag Brickmania. And once we get, every week we'll be releasing a new contest winner. Yeah, so look on Monday. We'll announce this week's contest winner and the next week's prizes.
Cool.
Every week a prize. And then when we get 20,000 subscribers, we will be giving away the PT-109 to some lucky subscriber. Yes.
Cool. Awesome. Speaking of subscription, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And stay tuned for more awesome content down the road. Thank you very much for watching.